So at the top we have our var current scene, which is for the different scenes shown in the program, and then we have var x, var y, and var h, which is x, y, and then the height for the players. Below we have just a key for each of the scenes and what they're called. And then here's my con button class. And this is the starting button, which you see here. And then here's the next button, which you see on the instructions page. And then we also have our mouse clicked function. So it's for if the current scene is 1, then the start button works. If it's a scene 2, then the next button works. And this is for scene 3, and it's for this one. It's for the current scene. And whenever you click a player, it takes you. So these are the coordinates that match up to the player shown on these screens. So it's for all 4 of the players. It takes you to scene 4, 5, 6, and 7, which you can see up here. And then we also have our draw red player, which is the red player, the blue player, the green player, and then the yellow player, and they're all. I use an algorithm to implement the X, Y, and H. So this is one version of the height, and if you click on it, there is a second version, second starting position, and like X, Y position. We have it for all the players, and then this is for the hard maze, which is the second maze that I have, and just where it's starting, where it's ending, and then all of these lines are the different lines of the maze. And then I have the same thing for the easy maze, which is right over here. And then this just draws scene 1 with the start button, scene 2 with the instructions and the next button here, scene 3 where you choose your players. And since I made the mazes its own function, I can just call it down here on each of them with different backgrounds for the colors that correspond to Y, which will be a yellow color, G, which is green, which would be a green color, and the same for the hard maze. And in my draw function, I have just the current scene. So if it's scene 1, it's draw scene 1. If it's scene 2, it's scene 2. And then I call all 4 of the players that are different colors in scene 3. And then for each of the maze, I have boundaries in place over here and here. So if the player reaches the end of the maze, which is this point over here, then it takes them directly to the next maze that corresponds to the color. So it would be scene 8. And this over here is the key code, so it goes up, goes down, goes right, and goes left, and it corresponds to the player's movements. So to go up, it's X, Y minus 1, and the height of the player is 50. And so this is only happen when the key is pressed and the arrow up button is pressed. And when none of the arrows are pressed, else the player just stays still in whatever position that it's in. And that's what it is for each of the scenes and each of the players. Go all the way down. And so scene 8 is where the second maze starts, which is the harder maze. And essentially they're all the same process, just different boundaries that are put in place. And that's my code.